It's March 2nd, 2023. My name is Jimmy Van, and this is KYN Live. My guest calls himself an avid indoorsman, which is pretty cool. He says he was one of only 3 people who stayed in their seat during a weekend concert, and he enjoys jamming with his daughter's bedazzled guitar. I'm with you on that. He is the founder of WrestlingInc.com. This is Raj Giri.
Yes.
Raj, how are you, man?
Good, man. Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to finally meet you. I know damn well people are going to watch this and they're going to say, wait a second, the guy from Fightful, the guy from Wrestling Inc., they can't talk.
Forbidden Door,
right?
baby.
They can't talk. But no, Raj and I are cool. We chat every now and then. And I thought, you know what? I like getting guys on this to not talk pro wrestling. And I figured Raj is someone that's going to like to not talk pro wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to get away.
It is. So this is going to be fun. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk to KYN 7 of the top news stories of the week that are stupid, funny, and weird. I'm going to get your reactions, and I'll ask you questions along the way. And guys, get into your super chats to get your question or statement read on the air. If you don't want to donate through YouTube, you can go to kynchat.com, leave a question or statement anytime you want, and we will read it on the air. So if you've never seen me do this thing, Raj, it's just a half hour of absolute absurd, real news stories, a lot of idiots. And I got 7 good ones again. So you ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with story number 7, reported by CTV News. So the Ontario Provincial Police, they were doing a ride check in the township of Georgian Bluffs, Ontario, in Canada. And one of the cars that came through, it was driven by a 61-year-old man. And police detected pretty quickly that there was signs of impairment with this guy. And Raj, my question for you is, what tipped off the police to the fact that this guy might be impaired?
The fact that geez, he had no pants on.
Not a bad answer.
Sounds like Florida guy or Jersey guy on the Kevin Nash podcast.
Not a bad answer. So
probably being asleep at the wheel.
So what ended up happening was he had a mountain of empty beer cans piled up in the passenger seat, and we got a picture of it. Look at that.
That'll do it. But maybe he's just recycling. I mean, you just never know. He's an avid recycler.
That's what he's doing?
You never know, right? Don't they pay like 5 cents a can up in Canada?
So instead of bagging him up first, as he drinks them, he tosses them in the passenger seat because he's going to go get his nickel.
Hey, they charge like 5 cents a bag out here. I don't know about you. So.
Well, obviously, he was impaired. He faces a slew of charges. Of course he does. So I don't know. What do you think of this little collection there? Did you notice that? Put that picture up again, Joel. They're all the same kind of beer. Clearly, he's got to love this guy. It's all the same shit.
There looks like there's one at the bottom left under the steering wheel. That's I can't make out what it is. It looks like it says Haboose. But
good eyes. Good. I think it's Bush. Yeah, it might be Bush. I don't know. So every story that we do, I like to ask a question somehow related to it. And so here's my question for you on this one. Do you collect anything that takes up space? And if so, where do you keep it? And hopefully not your car.
Oh man. No, I'm not a hoarder. Every spring we go through the basement. You know what I used to do is I'd keep all the boxes to the electronics we buy. So like a Roku or iPhone. But then I'd start keeping like boxes to the stuff we're never going to sell, or we're never going to give it away. Or, you know, when we're done with it, we toss it. So there was a huge stack of boxes, but that was about it. Other than that, I'm not a hoarder. How about you?
Really? But no collections? You have no collections of anything?
I have old wrestling collections. I have old wrestling cards and stuff like that, but they don't take up much space.
Gotcha.
I did get rid of all my videotapes and.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you have all the VHS stuff?
Oh yeah. I still have a bunch of DVDs, but I got rid of all the VHS. I had the WrestleMania collections, a bunch of WCW.
What'd you do with them?
AWA. I gave them away a long time ago on the site as a giveaway. But
so years ago, I used to record Raw every week like an idiot because I just did. And a girl that I was dating many, many years ago, I had boxes that I had not touched and they were covered in dust. And she basically kind of sort of was my therapist in a way. And she got me to toss them all in the garbage bin.
Yeah.
And now seeing what they do with the music, part of me wishes I had kept them, you know?
Same here. I
Huh?
used to have this 8 hour. I used to have those 8 hour VHS cassettes, and I know we're not supposed to be talking about wrestling, but
Yes. Yeah.
I would cut, tape all these matches from like Superstars and Challenge. Like I had the one, I think it's the first ever televised Bret Hart Shawn Michaels match when they were with the Rockers and Hart Foundation. All these stuff, all these things that are impossible to find now, and I really wish I would have kept those tapes. But yeah,
Raj, you are a kindred spirit, man. You and I are going to get along. All right,
absolutely.
we got a super chat. If I can show it. Oh, there we go. This is from Bassonomics. Wrestling aside, what do you both do for fun and joy? I'll let you answer that one, Raj.
I try to uh, teach myself a lot with finance. I've been really into it for like 25, 30 years. And then golf. I'm terrible at it.
Uh,
I'm terrible. And when I say I'm terrible, I'm not kidding. I barely ever shoot over under 100. So I'm really bad, but I enjoy being outdoors. That's the one outdoorsy thing I do enjoy. So, and the nice weather, everything. This weekend, today's my wife's birthday, and we're going to the mountains. And usually when we'd go to the mountains, I had the site before, so I'd work while they went snowboarding, but I don't have that excuse this year. So
uh-huh.
I'm taking snowboarding lessons. I took them
Ah,
17 years ago. Hated it. I hate the
yeah.
cold. I hate falling in snow, but it's her birthday, and I have nothing to work on, so I'll be doing that this weekend.
Fascinating. I'm taking up golf next year. I'm moving to a country town next year, and I'm taking up golf too.
Oh, nice.
So you and I can swap stories about how we both suck once that
Absolutely.
actually happens. All right, let's go on to story number 6, reported by CWB Chicago and Fightful and KYN Zone. Kate Elizabeth, she passed me this one. So get this. So there's a guy in Chicago. He went out to get fried chicken. He came home, parked his car in front of his house, and he's heading on inside. He was interrupted by a man who pointed a gun in his face and robbed him of everything that he had. He took his car keys, he took his cash, he took his debit card, and he even took the chicken. Well, that man ended up getting caught by police. And Raj, my question for you is, how did he get caught?
Stopping at a gas station to use the bathroom.
That would have been a better answer. So after the robbery, he decided to sit in the victim's car and eat the damn chicken. That, it gave the guy nothing but time to call 911, and that's what he did. We got a mugshot of this rock star.
Ah,
There he is right there. His name is James Taylor. He faces a minimum sentence of 21 years in prison if convicted of armed robbery. That must have been some pretty damn good chicken. What
when
do you
you're
think?
hungry, you're hungry. I mean, I've had it where I get takeout or something. I'm like, man, I got to eat this now. I'm not waiting.
I guess he really wanted it. I don't know. So let me ask you, what is your go-to when it comes to comfort food?
Gosh, fried chicken's up there. Burritos, Chipotle, Indian food. My number one would be chicken tikka masala, Indian food with
Uh-huh.
some garlic naan.
I got you. My wife is Trini, so she'd probably appreciate that. I am as white as the snow, but my wife is Trina, so she'd appreciate it. All right, reminder, guys, get into Super Chats to have your question or statement read on the air. Or if you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we'll read your question or statement on the next show. Let's go on to the next one. You're going to love this one, Raj. Reported by CNN, story number 5. All right, this kind of goes back to your dating site thing because I know that you used to own a dating site. So anyone who has ever had a long distance relationship or an online relationship, they know that it can be very challenging because you're lacking that physical intimacy, right? Until you
Right.
actually meet them. So a university student in China, they created something to try to help overcome this problem of having a long distance relationship with no physical intimacy. Raj, any idea what solution the student in China came up with?
A 3D printer with the girl's whole body. I, I don't know, or one of those dolls that they have now, where you can, and then you probably put the picture of the girl's face on it.
I was just not going to talk to see how far we were going with this. I was just going to let you go. So what they made was a remote kissing device. Check out this clip courtesy of China in Pictures on Twitter. Look at this. So this thing uses pressure sensors to mimic a real kiss. It can also transmit the sound that the user makes when they're kissing them. You download the app, you plug the device into it, you can pair it with your partner's device, and then that way you can transmit kisses Raj, you told me a little while ago that you're always looking for investment opportunities. What do you think?
Man, kids these days, back in our day, we had to make out with our forearm, while we're talking.
What?
So
Should we explore that a little more? You think what?
I don't know. I don't know what the equivalent to that is, but hey, technology, we were single at the wrong time.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I think you and I are probably around the same age. And so I missed all this shit.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, I'm glad that I'm in my 40s this day and age. If I was in my 20s having to deal with social media, and I'm glad to be old.
Yeah.
I am in this situation. I am.
Same here.
All right. Is there any mobile app? And I suppose I'll kind of let you off the hook by letting you include games. Is there any mobile app that you like to use that might surprise people that you like to use?
Whew. Gosh. I mean, I'm a big spade. Yeah, spades. I don't know if that's surprising, but I'm a big spades guy. I love playing spades. And I have a poker app. I hardly play. Probably spades. I'll play that in my spare time.
So you're not one of these guys. I don't know if you heard the story about John Cena and Boom Beach. Did you ever hear that story?
No.
Boom Beach is like a mobile game, and John Cena spent like $1,000 on the game because he wanted to upgrade all of his shit before you had to wait for it to get done. Big E told that story.
Wow.
So you're not one of these guys, because I know you're sitting on some coin with Wrestling Inc. Raj. So you're not one of these guys that's got some mobile game and you're like, well, fuck this. I'm not waiting 24 hours for that thing to get upgraded. I'm just going to go ahead and spend a couple $100.
I wish it would keep me off the Twitter.
Yes. Well, you know what? No AEW takes today, Raj. We're not doing that. So you got nothing to worry about. Let's go to story number 4, reported by KTRK News. All right. A 23-year-old man in Houston, Texas, his name is Alan Lynch Jr. He was pulled over by police for having an unexpired tag on his car. He decided to speed off and he got away, or so he thought. He ended up getting caught. Raj, what happened to Mr. Lynch that led to him getting caught?
Oh, man, it's tough to think on the fly.
Yeah, that's why you can just kind of like spitball it, say whatever stupidity you want.
He had body armor? Wait, what?
No. So he got pulled over. He had an expired tag on his car. So he got pulled over for police because of the expired tag, but he took off.
Okay.
So how did he get caught?
He stopped to get fried chicken?
That would have been probably better than what he did. So, of course, this day and age, he posted a 5.5 minute on YouTube documenting the entire experience and bragging about getting away. And we got a clip. Look at this.
So, y'all, I got away. Round of applause.
If he had just stayed and accepted a ticket, it would have been nothing. It would have been like a couple $100. Now he faces felony charges of evading police. But you know what it is, right? It's all about the views and the follows and the clickety clacks, right? That's what he wanted.
And social media, it's going to be the downfall of us.
Isn't that something? I don't know what goes through people's minds, because we've had stories like this before on this podcast. People get caught by police. They document the whole thing. They put it on YouTube. They think that the cops aren't checking social media.
Right.
You know what I mean? Absolutely unbelievable. Okay. I'm almost afraid to ask you this question, but I'm going to ask you, have you ever posted anything on YouTube that you ended up regretting later? No Dynamite reviews, Have you ever posted anything that you regretted later?
Non-wrestling wise?
Anything. It could be anything.
No, not really. No. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff on the podcast where later I'm like, I shouldn't have said that, or stuff like that. But nothing where I'm, that I'm like, that has to be taken down now.
Okay, you know what? That 25 years of running a website, that's pretty good track record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there might have. I think there was one time I was when Sean was with Wrestling Inc. There was one time, I think after WrestleMania, I was pretty tanked, and I was at WrestleMania, and Sean and Vince Russo were doing the show, and I called in, and it was it was not the prettiest review, and I think Sean pulled it later. So
So you're live at the show?
Yeah. This was like this was the one in Arlington at
Okay,
at Concourse Stadium. So yeah.
Oh, I got to go on the hunt for that later on.
Yeah, I think Sean cut it out. So thanks, Sean.
I can see that. I can see it. All right, let's go on to story number 3, reported by Time.News. All right, so there's a movie theater in Brazil, and they were screening a 3D version of the film The Titanic to celebrate its 25th anniversary. Something happened that made that movie feel a little more realistic than people were expecting. Raj, what do you think happened?
It's got to be the painting scene, right? That might have popped the crowd. That's what I would guess.
Let me get this straight. You think that in the movie theater, some chick stripped down and then some guy was painting her while they're watching the movie?
I don't know. So they do the cosplay and everything now, these kids. So they're like, we're going to recreate this now.
Your answer is way better than the truth. It's way better than the truth. So there was a storm in the area. Water seeped into the theater. The whole thing got flooded. We got a clip courtesy of Mason Souza on Twitter. Look at this. So apparently they just kept the movie playing as the water poured on in. It was just like those violinists, that kept on playing on the deck of the ship as it went down. Again, your answer was a hell of a lot better. But that's what happened. What do you think? The ultimate interactive movie experience?
That is ironic. That song "Ironic," and everyone complains how nothing in that song is ironic. She should somehow incorporate it. She should come out with a new version, incorporate that news story.
Alanis Morissette. Ottawa, Canada's Alanis Morissette. Maybe I'll tell you a story off the air. I have a personal connection to Alanis Morissette.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not something I'm going to talk about publicly. Let's go on. Actually, before we go on to the next story, final reminder, get in your super chats to have your question or statement read on the air, or go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we will read your question or statement on the next show. All right, we're whipping through these, man. Time for story number 2, reported by the New York Post. Lots of stupid criminals this week. There's something about it this week. I don't know. So a man tried to escape a maximum security prison in Bolivia. He managed to sneak past security, and he got outside during the night, and he disguised himself to try to help with his escape, but his disguise actually aided in his capture. And so my question for you, Raj, what kind of disguise did he use?
Charles Manson?
Way better than what he did. So what he did was he wrapped fleece around himself, and he pretended to be a sheep. And we got pics of it. This is real. There he is right there. This is real.
Oh, man.
His name is Jose Luis Calizaya Diaz. He's serving 15 years for homicide. Authorities have ordered legal and disciplinary action against him for that attempt. What do you think, man? Of all the stuff that he could have tried to use, he decided to be a sheep. What the hell do you think of that?
Not exactly the Shawshank Redemption, right? I mean, I wonder how long it took him to make that sheep outfit, and then to go down like that. I feel kind of bad for him, because I'm sure he put a lot of work into that sheep outfit.
You feel he put a lot of work into that sheep outfit?
Yeah.
I think he ripped the fleece out of a coat, but he tied it around his waist.
He probably had to keep getting new coats to get enough cotton to put it together. So
possibly maybe like his wife's visiting, and she's like, "What do you mean you want another coat?
Yeah, this is
what do you mean?
322nd coat I've gotten you."
Okay, my question for you on this: have you ever hid or put on a disguise because you didn't want somebody to see you? Maybe like the in-laws are coming over. Maybe there's like some meddling neighbor. You're like hiding out in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Has anything like that ever happened?
I'll do that. Sometimes when my wife's friends are over, I'll stay quiet up in the bedroom and not turn the TV on too loud. But not.
So they don't think you're home, you mean?
Yeah. So I don't have to come down and say hi and do all the small talk. Small talk can drive me crazy if I'm like in a work mood. I just want to be on my laptop. So I get out of my office, go upstairs.
I'm with you. You and I need to go out for pints, Raj.
Absolutely.
Because we have a lot of stuff in common like that. I love my in-laws. Don't get me wrong. I love my in-laws, but sometimes just leave me the fuck alone.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have a super chat here. Bassonomics says, good thing Raj added the word body to that answer. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Did I say body? Was that the body camera one? That I thought you said body camera, but that wasn't it. But anyway,
Possibly.
yeah.
Yeah, possibly. And another one from Mr. Bassonomics. He said, affirmation time says 2 things you like about each other.
I like that he hides from his in-laws. And I think both Jimmy and I we've created something from nothing, and that's not easy.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, we haven't talked about our backgrounds yet. We'll talk off the air, but Fightful was done for fun. I didn't do it for money, and I'm assuming Wrestling Inc. was probably the same. That you did it for fun, not for money.
Absolutely, yeah. It was meant as a hobby.
Yeah, I just got lucky. We got lucky. All right, it is time for story number one, reported by 2EC.com. All right, we're going to end with a good one. So all these stores in Australia, they've caused a stir on social media over a new sculpting facial roller that they're selling to help relieve tension, as well as to sculpt the face and the body. Raj, what is it about this sculpting facial roller that's getting all this attention?
So I actually don't know what a facial roller is. Is it like what is it? I've never even heard of that.
I guess you roll it around your face and it helps to like get rid of lines, I guess. I mean, I don't use anything like this shit, but I've seen the pictures. So I guess you like roll it around, smooths out the lines, sculpts your face, I guess.
Oh, geez. Okay. Sorry, what was the question?
What is it about this facial roller that's getting all the attention on social media?
People using it on their penis.
So you're almost right. You're almost right. So people are mistaking the thing for something else. We have a picture and you can decide for yourself what that might be.
Yeah.
There it is there. Now I should add this thing vibrates. I should make that clear. It sells for $19.99. It vibrates and absolutely it looks like a penis. An Aldi spokesperson said, quote, "We strongly encourage customers to read the instructions to ensure they're enjoying the product as intended." Yeah, Raj, what do you think, man? You said it's your wife's birthday today. Do you need any last minute gift ideas?
I think we're good, but I think they made that on purpose, and they did it so it could get into the Walmarts or what the equivalent of that they have in Australia, and not be considered a sex toy. So that's pretty smart.
So you think they want something to have like a variety of uses, but they don't want to say what they want it to be used for, so they're calling it a facial roller, facial roller.
Exactly. It's like, yeah.
Okay. Well, my last question for you. Have you ever purchased anything that ended up having more uses than you originally intended?
Oh, gosh. AirPods. I mean, outside of electronics, I'm trying to think of something different.
How about, you've got a wrestling background. Mm-hmm. Did you ever like have an impromptu match in your living room and ended up, picking something up for a weapon or, anything like that?
No. I lead a very boring life, Jimmy. I go golfing and I barely ever shoot over 100. So that's how boring my life is. So,
nothing, huh?
Man, nothing. Outside of electronics, nothing. Nothing that I can think of now.
All right, you know what? That's fine. Hey, no, it's cool. At least I got Raj to say the word penis on the air. I got that, right?
Right.
So at least I got that. All right, I want to thank our guest Raj Giri. Raj, tell the people what you're doing and where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm still with Wrestling Inc. Still helping them out. And you could follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/the Raj Giri, and keep checking out wrestlinginc.com as well.
Awesome. That's going to do it for KYN Live. Tune in next Thursday at 4:00 Eastern for more silliness that's totally real. Bye for now. Thanks for doing this, man.